What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I'm Tony. This is Uku licking my hand. I am wearing my Cartier Pasha, I think. Um, a couple of things. I'm not going to run the intro, actually. Um, uh, I know I made a few mistakes in my last video last night regarding the Hulk having a ceramic bezel, and I'm aware of that, but I know you guys also let me know that as well. So, sometimes, for one, it's just been really kind of a stressful couple of months I've been going through, right? For one. So I do make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Um, and two, I've been having a lot of problems with doing these videos and uploading them. They're not exporting properly, and it's taking me a long time. There's not enough data. I'm finding myself deleting my apps and things like that. And so finally, I got a new camera and a new phone today, so I'm testing this out. And the problem I had previously with my last phone I got, which was the iPhone 13 Pro, I think it was, whatever. And I took it to T-Mobile. They switched it, whatever, and then I got it. And I lost my previous YouTube channel. That was 2 years ago, I think. I lost the channel completely. I couldn't get back onto Google anything, and that's how I lost my previous channel. And it was something to do essentially with a phone number associated with my Google account, which wasn't my phone number, which is really strange. And I don't know how that other phone number got there, but I could not recover that account. So I had to start from scratch, which was extremely stressful because I almost didn't. I almost just said, fuck it, I'm not going to do this anymore. Um, so what I found out is because I do my videos on my phone that, it was saying my data was already at its peak and I'd already deleted apps. It just said apps. Well, apparently when you do a video, what I'll do is I'll shoot a video like this and then I'll put it into iMovie and edit it and do that and then put it back into my phone, then upload it, and then I'll delete that video. So now it's on YouTube. But apparently YouTube, all that data is still in my phone, and you can't get rid of it. I don't know if you can or you can't. If you guys know, let me know. Without, I don't want to obviously delete the channel or the content that's already on the channel. So anyway, that was really, really stressful today when I went down there and the guy told me, well, you're going to have to get an upgraded phone and whatever with more data, which I did. But I was really scared I was going to lose this channel again. But I'd restarted with, knowing everything was correct. So at least I got that working. Two, now I don't have a microphone that works. Well, apparently I do because the adapter is different, and I have various different microphones and whatever. And it just so happens I think I found one that worked. So I'm hoping this works. So the Hulk was a problem with the ceramic bezel. I realize that, and I appreciate you guys calling me out on it too. So, and don't get me wrong, I don't think I know everything about watches, and certainly if I don't know enough about a watch, I'll tell you. Just like the Railmaster that I posted last night as well was not the 38 millimeter as what my viewer wanted to know about the 60th anniversary. I even stated, I don't know anything about this watch, man. And I got that picture from Omega's website, and it was the only Railmaster on there that I found, and I did it real quick. So I was just trying to get everything together. So I apologize for that, but that's just the way it is. Sometimes it's just, I'll post out and I'll just say, I don't know enough about the watch, and here's a watch that's a Railmaster. The Cartier I posted was a solid rose gold, and it was 40 millimeter, and I mentioned the 36 millimeter. And yes, I can't clarify everything, but in a case when I talk about a 36 millimeter, they make the Ronde in the 36 millimeter stainless steel, and that's what I'm referring to. And I said they also make it in gold, and I put the 40 millimeter one up, but I didn't clarify that that was the 40 millimeter one. Anyway, so that's the way it goes with that. So I'm hoping this video is going to work and everything. Obviously, I've got a brand new camera. Let me know how the quality is compared to the last one. Apparently, this is a better camera. And then hopefully this microphone will work, because otherwise I'm just wasting my time. But I also wanted to talk about Patek Philippe and the absolute arrogance that Patek Philippe has as a watch brand. When you have a brand as prestigious as Patek Philippe, I get it. People have issues with not being able to get Rolex, and they say they get treated differently or a little shitty at the Rolex AD. Patek's a whole other level of being treated like shit. With Rolex, you go into an AD and they'll say, well, we don't have them in stock, and there's a wait or whatever you have to do. I've heard stories of, well, you have to buy this before you can get this. And I understand that there's, before you can get those higher up models, that you probably have to spend a little bit of money for the most part, you know. But Patek is different. I watched a video a few months ago with Thierry Stern, and it was almost like a 60 minutes type of video. It wasn't like a YouTuber's video. It was an actual like a newsworthy video where they uh, show the Patek Philippe boutiques and talk about how to get a Patek Philippe, and then they interview Thierry Stern, who's the CEO. And yeah, as you may know or may not know, Patek Philippe are an independent company, and Thierry Stern straight up says, "We won't sell to you if you walk into our store or boutique, and we don't want you reselling them. We want you to be a part of the family. However, you can't be a part of the family unless you have a Patek Philippe that you bought from a boutique. But you can't buy a Patek Philippe from a boutique. So it's very difficult. There's this kind of in Hollywood, there's this thing. In order to work on TV, not commercials for the most part, but you know, if you're doing a TV show or a movie, you have to be a member of what's called SAG, Screen Actors Guild. And getting a Screen Actors Guild card isn't the easiest thing in the world. It's not as hard. I mean, people think it's very prestigious to get one, but the thing is you have to work in order to get a SAG card. It's called SAG, but you can't get a SAG card unless you work, right? So there's that fine line. How do you get your SAG card, right? And so how it starts generally is if you're an extra, meaning if you came out to Hollywood and decided you wanted to get into movies, you can go to central casting, sign yourself up, and you can be what's called background, an extra. You might not get seen. You know, when you see people in the background doing things and they're, you know, at a bar or something like that, those are called extras. They don't get paid very much, about $100 a day. And then if you continually work and the director likes you, you'll get a voucher for a SAG card. And you have to get, I think it was 3 in order to get a SAG card before you get your SAG card. Now you got your SAG card. Now you got to try to get regular work. Very difficult. You can still get extra work or background work. You'll get paid a little more because you are a member of the union. But with Patek Philippe, it's this whole thing where it's, you know, they won't sell you a watch. You're never going to get a Nautilus at a boutique or an Aquanaut. You know, they want you to get basically, say, a Golden Ellipse or a Calatrava, and then of course you're gonna have to wait for that. Once you get that, then you get on the list. If any of you saw that video of Sylvester Stallone, who is selling his auctioning off his Patek Master Chime, whatever it is, I don't even know, and I'm sure you guys will let me know. But you know, he's even said he had to write petitions and go to, you know, the whole thing in order to get, you know, allocated this watch, you know. And then he goes ahead and sells it, whether it's a year later, 2 years later, it doesn't matter. He still sold it. And people comment, say well, you know, he has the right to sell it. Absolutely he does. It's his watch. He paid for it. He can sell it. But it doesn't mean that Patek's going to ever have to sell him another watch because of what he just did. And I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong or not. Patek Philippe have this huge arrogance about them. Now, what really got me was Watches and Wonders. Okay, now keep in mind, Watches and Wonders is a trade show, and it's for people that are in the industry for the most part. And then they have the public days, people like you and me that are consumers that buy these products. And you know, we should be the most important people essentially because we're the ones who are spending our money on their brand, right? But when you go, this happened this year, you go to Watches and Wonders and there's Patek Philippe, they're not even letting you in the booth. Isn't that crazy? You have to be some kind of VIP to even get in their booth, and their booth is huge. But it's like, it just goes to show the arrogance of that brand. Does it turn me off? Absolutely it does, you know. With other brands, it's different. They, you know, I mean, some of them, there's a certain air of arrogance within a lot of the watch brands anyway. But, you know, so I know people complain about Rolex. Well, you can't get a Rolex. Yeah, but Rolex want you to have a watch, okay? The AD, that's a different story. But Rolex wouldn't make 1.5 million watches a year if they didn't want you to have one. And if there wasn't that much demand for them, they certainly wouldn't be making 1.5 million watches a year. Patek is about 40,000 watches a year, maybe 50 or 60, 40 to 60,000, let's say. And it's like they don't want you to have a watch. It's like, and if you have one of our watches, you know, even if you have a Patek that you bought on the gray market and you walked into a boutique with a Patek, they'd say, oh, okay, you have a Patek, but you still have to go through that process of getting a Calatrava before you can get the next level up and next level up. You know, they are forcing you to buy here to get to here, Rolex aren't forcing you to do anything, okay? But having said that, the ADs may require you to get an OP before you can get a GMT, or a Explorer before you can get a Submariner. But you know, at the point, the point of it is not so much the, Rolex or whatever. I'm just talking about Patek. And when you watch Terry Stern in an interview clearly stating how superior their product is, and it's like, come on, dude. I mean, granted, don't get me wrong, Vacheron and Patek were my two favorite brands for a long time. I think Vacheron are far superior than Patek anyway. But when you take a watchmaker, say he's a very skilled watchmaker, could have come from Patek, could have been working at Vacheron, could have worked at Rolex even, or any other brand, right? You can get brands like Nomos. I did a video, Nomos compared to Patek Philippe on their Calatrava line. That would be a good video to watch if you haven't seen it. But, and again, Patek are more handmade than, than Rolex, of course. Nomos are all done by hand, for the most part. Even their closed case backs, they've got decorated movements. But anyway, so I just wanted to do this video. I've probably missed a lot of things, and this is more of a video to just trying out my new setup as well as this microphone. I'll probably just get a new microphone because I've had this microphone for a long time, and I'm just glad I found an adapter that fit it. Anyway, I hope you guys like, subscribe. I appreciate you. Take care.